If your kids are pushing away from you, if they're not listening to you, it is a self protective mechanism, meaning the vibe you're putting out there is not an inviting one. It's not a loving connection vibe. It's a walk all over me vibe, or it's a you got to do it my way or the highway vibe, or it's you're yesing them, but you're mentally over here, so there's no actual real present focus connection, and they can see right through it, so they're out of there. It's one of those things. They're always wanting our attention and connection and focus, but it's our own junk, our own trauma history, our own lack of knowing how that gets in our way of being worthy of that connection from our people we love more than anyone in the whole wide world. First, we learn to value ourselves, to take ourselves seriously, to start listening to ourselves and our own needs and living that. And there's no shortcut. Once we're there, it becomes possible to give our kids that kind of respect that we want them to give us. The question is, how do I set the really important boundaries clearly with my kid? But the caveat is, especially when I feel like they're not listening. So the you're going to like this. We're going to work backwards from the question to the answer, all right? And we work backwards by starting with, okay, the number one thing to notice there is that no matter what you say, right now the pattern that's in motion is one where you talk and your kid tunes it out. So if any of you are seeing that, noticing that pattern in your lives, just go ahead and acknowledge it right now. Step into your power and have the courage to say, this is not working. If you are talking and people are not listening or are tuning you out, there's no way to set an effective boundary because you don't have the thing you need. And what is the thing that you think that you need? You need their attention and you need connection. If you don't have those two things, their attention and an emotional connection, then it's going to fall flat. Anything you ask them to do, they're not going to hear or they're not going to take you seriously. I'm going to tell you a little secret that your children will respond to you. They will value you. They will respect you as much as you value yourself and respect yourself. Once we're there, it becomes possible to give our kids that kind of respect that we want them to give us. They will never give you the respect until you give it to them and feel it for them and have it for them. And that's where all of our own junk gets in the way. When we're trying to truly accept our kids for who they are, when we're trying to be present with them, we're going to feel all of our own avoidances, our barriers, our fears, our rage, our anger, all the things. That's where we meet ourselves, and we have to meet ourselves there. We have to be able to take our own self seriously and to honor our own experiences. We can't just skip that. We can't skip over that and then expect our kids to take us seriously and listen and say, yes, mom, of course, I'll do the thing that you asked me to do, like little robots. It's not going to work. As you know, it's not going to work. But what does work is I love and respect myself. I take myself seriously. I do. I get up every morning before anyone's up, almost every morning before everyone's up. We homeschool now, so it's kind of that kind of show some mornings. But anyways, I get up to listen to myself and to talk with God and to take myself seriously and to say what kind of day I'm going to have. I write it into being. Every single day I choose what kind of day I'm going to have. I say it out loud. I feel it in my heart. I create it. Every day I create the energy of that. And then what happens? A whole bunch of junk is going to come up and get in the way as I'm starting to shift and transform my life. Then I have to have somebody help me with that part. I have to seek help on that. And for me, there are different resources that I use, in the same way that I help my clients. I seek my people who help and support me. That grows over time. I support myself so that my kids will take me seriously, so that they will sense that I'm someone they want to listen to, so that they'll see that I'm happy in my life and they want to be happy like that instead of crazy, freaky, controlling mom who they just want to avoid and get away from, right? Because I'm just trying to put my agenda on them and it feels so yucky. It creates anxiety for them. So all they can do is just kind of turn away and push away and avoid. That's what kids are doing. And you know what, you guys? Don't beat them up for it. That is self-protective. If your kids are pushing away from you, if they're not listening to you, it is a self-protective mechanism, meaning the vibe you're putting out there is not an inviting one. It's not a loving connection vibe. It's a walk all over me vibe, or it's a you got to do it my way or the highway vibe, or it's you're yesing them, but you're mentally over here, so there's no actual real present focus connection, and they can see right through it, so they're out of there. It's one of those things. They're always wanting our attention and connection and focus, but it's our own junk, our own trauma history, our own lack of knowing how that gets in our way of being worthy of that connection from our people we love more than anyone in the whole wide world. One of the last things I'll say is that if you notice that your kids are not listening to you, notice how you feel about it. Check in with yourself and give yourself a red hot minute to go, what does this feel like? It sucks. It's horrible. It leaves you with like, what is the point? Why am I even here? Right? When you feel that way and you are being walked over or ignored or argued with, give yourself a minute to see and feel into that. The result of staying in that. And if what you feel is like, I have to do something to change it, then ask, am I willing to do something to change it? Am I actually willing to do the work and take the steps and put in the effort? Am I willing to do that? Some people will say yes, some people will feel no. Listen to your own heart and ask, what is your answer? And you may already know what the next step is. When you slow down enough to listen, you may know, I need help. Or you may know, I've got that thing to do and I haven't done it yet, and now I need to do it, I need to take the action. Because the kids are not going to magically start listening on their own, and you can't bully them into it, and you can't beg and plead either and expect a different result. The result comes from us owning our power, our truth, our respect, our love, dropping into our hearts, living from love. It's a big paradigm shift from having to control everything from this mental sort of like the over analytical brain to actually learning how to be in your feelings and feel safe in your feelings, and to open your heart and to hold boundaries from love, not from another kind of agenda, from love with firmness because you believe in yourself. That's a different ball game. You will see results change. All of my clients see that. The kids start to shift. They respond differently. They warm up. Partners say, how can I help and support you? That part shifts and rolls out as a reflection of the work that we do inside of us. And you are so worthy of that. And you are that powerful. And you have a massive influence on your family. And whether it's going well for you or not well for you right now, take a minute, slow down, and ask, am I getting the results that I want? And if you're not, reach out. Shoot me a message. Hit me up, hit reply to an email if you're on my email list and getting those love blasts. Just reach out and say, here's what's going on, Honor, and I'll help you to tease out. If it makes sense for us to connect, then I can offer you some time. Or just go straight to book a call on my calendar if you're sure that you want to have a clarity call, and reach out for help if you're ready to do something about what's not working. And that is the key. If you are ready to do something about what is not working, then let's have a chat and see if I can help you. Leave a takeaway in the comments. Leave a takeaway of what you learned, or a follow-up question, and I'd be happy to check back in with you and answer those. Okay? Lots of love, you guys. Have a beautiful weekend. See you soon.